You're growing your coaching business. You are bringing in coaching clients because you want to be this great coach. But you know that for all the inquiries of potential clients you're bringing in, only a small percentage or a percentage of them are actually converting. How do you turn more of those people into paying clients? Well, today I'm going to give you 12 different email marketing strategies that are guaranteed to grow any coaching business so you can impact more people, you can bring in more business, and have the coaching business that you've always wanted. That sounds good, doesn't it? Hello, welcome back to the show, another Email Marketing Wednesday, and yes, I do a brand new video like this with brand new advice on how to turn more of your email subscribers into coaching clients, into online course sales, into consulting, whatever it is that you want to do online, however it is that you're packaging your expertise. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button right here so that when a brand new episode of this show drops every Email Marketing Wednesday, it pops up in your feed and you don't miss out on any of this stuff, because you could apply literally one thing from any one of these videos and it could add an extra zero to the end of your income. That's my goal. That's what I'm trying to do every single time that I sit down here and plan out a video for you. And speaking of adding zeros to sales, I want to tell you about this crazy thing. So I've got this online course. It's called Email Marketing Sorted. And in it, I show people what I actually did was I took one of my offers, which was making about $27,000, just over $27,000. And I did some really interesting, really simple stuff with my email marketing. And just by doing that, I took it from $27,000 to over $500,000 in sales. And that was the same offer. Didn't change the offer at all. I didn't change the program at all. I didn't grow my audience in the same period of time, just by sending a different type of email. If you want to get access to that course completely for free, just for tuning in to the Email Marketing Show today, go to emailmarketingsorted.com, and you can access the whole Email Marketing Sorted course, and I'll show you how to do it in detail. Let's get into today's lesson, all about these 12 different marketing strategies, like email marketing specific strategies that will help you, are pretty much guaranteed to grow any coaching business. What's really important is I've worked with thousands of coaches, almost 9,000 paying clients at this point. And every time we implement these 12 specific things, we see a significant leap. I'm not talking a little step forward in sales. I'm talking about a leap forward, significant growth. You see other people having this overnight success. It's because they're applying these types of strategies. What's really interesting about them is I've seen them and I've implemented them with clients who are all kinds of coaches. So if you're coaching people to pass their exams, or if you're coaching them with some hobby, or you're coaching them with something professional, whether you're selling to businesses and business owners and corporations or governments or schools or anything like that, or to individuals because you coach people with a hobby, more of a B2C kind of offer, I'm seeing these things are the 12 things that work every single time to grow these types of businesses. So if that's the kind of business you've got, you are in for a freaking treat. As some stuff in this video I've never shared before, and I'm really excited about that. So the very first one of these is when someone joins your world, they join your email list, and they've signed up to your email newsletter, a lead magnet freebie. Let them know as soon as they've joined your list what your offering is. What are your packages? What is it you solve for people? As soon as they join your list, let them know. Don't keep it a secret, right? If they want it or if they need it, they need to know you've got it available, right? So as soon as someone joins your email list, make sure you have some information in your welcome sequence, in a bunch of initial emails that say, hey, if you've got this problem, here's how I solve it. I'm going to get into some specifics of how you do that within the rest of these 12 things, but that's one of the big lessons, is let them know what your offering is really early on, literally as soon as they've joined your email list. Therefore, the people who've joined your email list are going to know what you actually have for sale. The number one reason people don't buy from you is they're not entirely sure what it is that you do, how you can help them, or why it's different from what they've tried before. Think of those three things: what you do, how you can help them, or why it's different to what they've tried before. They're three critical critical elements that we've got to have really clear when someone first joins our email list. The second tip for you, the second email marketing strategy for your coaching business is to mention the wins that you're already experiencing from the coaching sessions that you're already doing, and do that in the form of stories. When you tell stories to your audience, they lean in. We don't feel like we're being sold to because we're being told a nice story. Since all of history, since the beginning of your life, you've been hearing stories. Even as a little kid, we've been sitting there and we've been read the Hungry Hungry Caterpillar and the Beatrix Potter books, and we've been hearing stories. What happens is our brains relax, the barriers come down, resistance disappears, and we're hearing a story. Not only that, but in stories, we're able to encapsulate emotion. And when we can have people emote with things, when we can have them feel things through the emotions that are only available in stories, then we get people to start making decisions. And one of those decisions could be that they're going to buy from you, right? So I want you to start telling stories in your emails, which are the wins that people are having from your coaching sessions. This allows people to see you're a coach, you've already got clients, and people are having wins. Now, these wins, don't get confused and overwhelmed by that. Don't feel intimidated by wins. I don't mean someone has to have made $1 gazillion from your coaching session. I'm talking about the breakthroughs, something that was holding someone back, what changed for them during the coaching session, and now what they've been able to do. Because what all of us realize is by the time they come to you as a coach, they've realized that it's not one big problem that they're facing. It's usually made up of lots of little tiny rocks that have built this wall in front of them that's stopping them from getting to the next step, right? That's what coaching is. Like, if you're a coach, you will experience that all the time. We're building up all these small things that they need to put together. So when you mention a story about a client who was on one of your calls and you say they had this problem, the person's going to be able to read that and think, I've had that problem too. Or I've had similar problems. Or I've had similar sized problems. And I can see using the story how this coaching methodology, this process, basically your framework, is the thing that actually helps them through it. So mention these wins, but do it specifically in the form of stories. Number 3 is the why I said no email. Really, honestly, send this. This is so powerful. Send an email which is all about why you turned down working with a particular client. Or if you haven't got a client yet, or if you've never turned one down yet, you could talk about why you would turn down a client. And this is basically about saying, hey, I'm not desperate for people to work with me. And I only want to work with people who I like working with and I can get results for. When you say those things, that tells people that you're not just like, yeah, come on in, fill up my bank account. It's not transactional. If someone feels that they are just another transaction, they are just another chunk of change landing in your bank that you're off to the Bahamas with, sipping your Muay Thai on the beach. Don't sip your Muay Thai, that'll be very strange. But sipping some boxing on the beach, very weird. But you're sipping a drink on the beach. If they feel like that, then they're not going to feel like this is an important decision. They're going to feel like they're just a number and they're not important. Whereas if you tell them, hey, here's when I would say, or when I have said no to working with a client. I've turned down clients or prospective clients because, and what are the reasons? Maybe they were uncoachable. You have to tell them what you mean by that. Maybe you thought, actually, my methodology doesn't work in that particular way. Whenever I tell people, I'm going to tell you whether this will work for you or not, that really, really shares the authenticity of what you're doing here. Like, what I do doesn't work for everyone. Like, if you're a plumber, I don't really think that you could adapt what I teach in email marketing to plumbing. And we've got people who have these outlier businesses, but really, it's not really designed for plumbers or insurance agents or real estate investors. Whereas I know if someone's a coach or they have a coaching program or an online course or a membership or consulting services or done for you services where they apply their expertise, I know I've got a lot of experience, almost 9,000 paying clients. I can help you get results. Outside of that, I'm probably going to say no to working with you. When you know that, think about how powerful that is, okay? Next, number 4 is you want to talk your clients up. Whenever you talk about your clients that you're already working with, you want to big them up in your emails. Hey, this is Sheila. She's this fantastic coach. She's from London. She's got this great mastermind. She makes 6 figures a year. She's doing all these great things. She sold out her mastermind using this one email campaign. Wow. Because I have told you how brilliant this Sheila, who you've never met, is, you're now in a positive state and you want to think of yourself in that positive state. You want to be as highly thought of as the person that I'm gloating about. So whenever you talk about your clients, just before you tell the testimonial, just before you tell the story story about what they've done, or you give that case study. Just before you do that, just talk the client up a bit, and immediately your audience will have an emotional resonance with that client, and they'll want to step into having the same feeling about themselves. Number 5 is to send clips out of your coaching calls. Obviously, make sure you've got permission. So basically, you'll do your coaching call and then go back through it and go, oh, when was there really some good moments from this coaching call? And just clip it. It might be 20, 30, 60 seconds. It might be 90 seconds. And you'll clip it together. Maybe they asked a question. You can cut that nice and short and you give an answer. You cut that nice and short and make it really tight and tidy. Then reach out to the client who you are coaching and say, hey, I was thinking about sharing this with my audience so they can see an example of the kind of amazing breakthroughs clients like you have. Would you be comfortable if I share this with my audience? And they can say yes, and they can say no. If they say no, don't try and persuade them. It's a private coaching call, that is fine. But most of the time, you're going to find that people say yes, depending on your topic. But generally, they're going to say yes. What does this mean? This allows people to have a real taste of what it's like on the inside. What is it like inside the coaching program? What's behind that payment page where I'm scarily going to have to fill in my credit card details? Well, here's what it's like on the other side. Come on, have a little look. And it shows you in action, doing the very thing so they can go, oh, that's exactly what I want. That's why free trials work so well of memberships and TV packages like Netflix and stuff like that, right? These cheap, low-cost trials work because they get to see what's like inside. This allows them to see what's like inside without having to enroll, without any commitment. Here's a little clip. And yes, they'll find value in it. That's great. They might learn a little thing, but most importantly, they're going to see what it's like on the inside. So send out an email which contains a link to a clip, which is like, here's a little clip from a coaching session that I did the other day. I think you'll get a lot out of it. Wow, that's amazing. Really, really good value. And it changes the media a bit. It's linking to something that's not a sales page. It's not book a call. It's just a little short, snappy video, very consumable. Make it as short as you possibly can. I've seen these and used these up to about 4 to 5 minutes. Ideally, you really want to make it almost like a social media, like a TikTok or an Instagram reel sort of length to get it really, really snappy. Number 6, it wouldn't be a video from me about making more sales with email if I didn't say this one. So I've put it right in the middle here. And that is to email more often. Because if you don't email more often, people will forget who you are, right? And also when you email more often, they get to learn more about you and what you do. And also, you're going to get better at doing this email stuff much, much faster. I've been speaking at lots of events over the past few months on stages of between 30 people, and we had one which was 1,500 people, right? 1,500 people, all these different rooms. And after every talk, people come up to me, are really gracious, really lovely. I love your talk. You're a great speaker. And I get lots of questions. A friend of mine messaged me and said, how did you get to become such a good speaker? And I said, it's literally reps. I've been on stage 3 times a week for 20 years. And at each speech, at each talk, every single presentation, I'm getting a little bit less crap than I was the previous time. After every talk, I listen to it back. I watch it back. I look at my slides. I think back through the flow of it. And I think about, where did I lose it? Where can I punch this up? And I do that time and time again. I remember hearing a story about Tony Robbins, the huge international motivational speaker. And I remember him talking about when he was learning to be a speaker, he realized that to get as good as someone who was already good, he just had to do more reps in less time and he could get there. And that's why he's one of the highest, if not the highest paid speakers in the world. So email more often, because when you do that, you'll get the reps in and you'll get better at it and people will remember who you are. Number 7, I want you to talk about your coaching from different angles. Because look, different people on your email list, all those different human beings are going to have their attention grabbed, their ears are going to prick up by different things. So you might talk about the depth of the conversations that you have in one email, but you also might talk about specific topics that you've gotten into. You might talk about the results people have gotten. You might talk about the quality of the people or the stage that these different people are at in their journey with your topic. You might talk about the experience of your program. This is great for online and offline coaching programs, okay? So I want you to think about showing up, but not always talking about the features and the benefits. That's what most people have done to really get way better results. Think about all the elements and pull all the elements of your coaching program apart and talk about each of them in a different separate email. Talk about the experience, talk about the feels, talk about the practicality, talk about the people, talk about the topics, talk about the stage of the topics, talk about every single element of your program, everything that goes into it, the timing, why the timing is important, literally break it all apart. Each one of those is a brand new reason to email, is a brand new thing that somebody might go, oh, I hadn't thought about it that way. Oh, I want to be part of that. I want a taste of that. That sounds great. And they're going to connect with it. Number 8 is to make sure you have a book a call email sequence. Literally every year every year you want to do this, but you want to have a series of 5 or so emails that you can regularly invite your list with. So you're going to send out to your list and you are going to invite people to book a call and chat about how you can actually help them. Have a sequence that you write once and you can roll out every month, every quarter, every year, week on week, month on month, however you want your frequency to be. But make sure you have that email sequence. Write it up in a Google Doc so you don't have to write it from scratch every single time. So you've got a book a call email sequence you can roll out and refill your books with more coaching clients. Literally 5 or so emails, get them on a call, see how you can help them, chat to them, and make your offer. Number 9, micro experiences. Look, coaching can seem like a really big commitment. Hey, I've got a 6-month coaching program. I've got a 12-month coaching program. That's a big commitment if I'm not that sure if I like you, if I want to spend that much time with you. You're asking me to get into quite a long-term relationship before I've really tested anything. And depending on how much of an experience or exposure I've had to your messaging, to your brand, the way you work and the way you do things, I might not be ready for that. So what you can do is you can break it down into some micro experiences where people get a taste of what it's like. So that might be a short experience like a 14-day accelerator where you're going to do one particular thing. Rather than me feeling like I'm committed to 3 months, 6 months, 18 months, I get a 14-day sample and I get to get one specific outcome, the outcome of one particular task. Or it could be a 4-day challenge where they make a much smaller commitment, but they get to experience your coaching. So come up with micro experiences which reduce the level of commitment that someone needs to have. This next one is one that can feel a little bit scary, a little bit icky. I know I find it a bit difficult. And that is to show your status inside of your emails. What I want you to do is to really think about what are the amazing things that you've been able to do due to your own success in this area. And I want you to share those things because that should inspire them that even if they could achieve just 10% of what you've done, they would be happy. Show your status in the places you've done what you do. So I'll share stories and photographs of, hey, I've spoken on these types of stages. Look at the status. I've written a book. Look at this book. Show your status so that you become what I call an environment of zero competition. That means people aren't choosing whether to work with you or that other person in your niche. They're just waiting for when they're going to work with you because there's nobody else has that unique cocktail of your status. There's nobody else in the world who teaches email marketing, but not from a copywriter's point of view, but from the point of view of having spent 20 years on stage influencing complete strangers to make decisions for entertainment purposes, making it look like I could read people's minds. That's what I did for 20 years. I combined psychology, body language, and stand-up comedy at conferences all over the world for some of the biggest companies on the planet, where I made it look like I could read people's minds and make them laugh for entertainment after dinner and at corporate events. That's one of my unique experiences. I've also spoken on some of the biggest stages, some of the largest marketing conferences in the world. I've also written the book. I've also this. I've also that. I've also the other. Nobody else has that unique combination that I've got. So if people want access to the only person who's done all of those things and has that unique perspective, they can only come to me. And you have that situation too. You might not have the spoken in front of the biggest audience or have the biggest book deal or the biggest whatever, but you have the unique combination of the things you've got. So share those things. How many clients clients have you helped? Like I often talk about, I've helped just almost 9,000 paying clients. That doesn't include all the free people I've helped on my keynotes from the stage, from my podcast that's been running for more than 300 episodes, my YouTube channel. It doesn't include all those people. It's paying clients. That is a unique bunch of things that some people are going to go, wow, this person's been around for a long time and they know what they're talking about because they're trusted by lots of different people to be booked on stages. He's I've got the top marketers in the world WhatsApp me for advice on their email marketing. All these things. What are your ones of those? What are your things? Which are your status? Is there a place that you started out? Did you learn from an interesting source? Have you achieved some things? Did you go from zero to hero? All of these things are growth and that put you in this limelight, which I think is really, really powerful. Number 11 is to overcome objections in your emails. Like you really have to overcome objections. And the most powerful way of doing that, and I might do a whole video on this, and if you would like me to, let me know in the comments below, is to turn that objection into the very reason that they should enroll, right? So rather than just saying, hey, you're wrong about your objection, nobody wants to hear that. We all believe we're right. It's very difficult for us as human beings, psychologically speaking, to go, I'm wrong. It's just hardwired into us. We want to be right, okay? We want to be commitment and we want to have consistency, right? So we want to overcome the objection in someone's mind by making the objection the very reason they should enroll. If you'd like me to do a much more deep dive on how to do that, just let me know in the comments below that you'd like me to do that whole thing about objections. I'm more than happy to make a full deep dive video on exactly how we do that. It's really simple, but it's really powerful, but when you use the right framework. And then number 12 is you should explain why your unique framework, your unique experience, all that stuff gets results for your clients. And it even gets results and great results for clients who have struggled to get results in the past with other programs, okay? So when someone comes to you, there is no way, there's very little chance anyway, that they've never enrolled in any other program before. It might have been a low ticket thing from somebody else. It might have been a high ticket thing. They may have been burned before. They may have not gotten results before. And that might not be the other coach's fault, by the way. It might just be that they didn't follow through. They didn't do the work. It didn't really suit their style. There could be a gazillion different reasons. They just lost the energy and the drive behind it. There's a million different reasons why. But then when they come to you and they're about to buy, one of the big resistances we all have to deal with is, I've tried things before and I'm still not happy with where I am. Why is your unique experience, why is your unique method, framework, approach actually more likely to get me better results than what I've tried and failed at in the past? When you approach that topic in your emails, you are going to say a significant number of people who've been on the fence, who've been reading your emails, actually start engaging with your emails, clicking and booking those all important calls to join your coaching program. Now, if you'd like to see how you actually can sell out your coaching program, there's a completely proven launch campaign that I shared in this video right here. Definitely go and check that one out, and I will see you next week.